Oh, hello everyone and welcome back to another video. And on today's video I'm going to be doing what I could call it pre-wiring for the van. I just want to get some cables in, some like essential cables that I know where stuff's going, where I've planned it out in the van, and I want to get some of these cables in before I get the insulation in, because it'll be a lot easier I think if I do it now. So that's my plan. I've got some conduit, different bits of conduit. I've got different size cables. We've got 2.5mm 3-core cable there, multi-strand. That's going to be for the 230 volt stuff that goes in. I'm going to put that in this blue tubing, blue conduit, just so I know, you know, which one's which as well. I don't know why really, but just for future reference so I know which one's which. Going to keep them separate. I've got some conduit here that I had from before. I've got another 10 metres of, I think this is 22mm conduit here. I've got a load of twin core here. I actually can't remember how much I bought. I think it says on there, does it? Oh, I don't know what I've bought. I've forgotten. 20 metres is what I've bought of that. That's 2.5mm as well, flat. It's the thin wall flat one. It's about 20, I think it's 29 amps, that one. So I'm going to use that for like my USB sockets and things like that. So yeah, 20 metres of that, a load of conduit, and yeah, I basically just got to get as much in as I can. I think going forward I'm going to forget things as well. I've forgot things along the way as I've been doing it, and then I need that, I'm going to put that there. It's a really hard stage, this is a really difficult stage of the van build. Well, I find it. I don't know what other people think about that, but who's building vans, but so much head scratching time sitting there going, oh, what do I need there? Or, you know, just trying to visualise it. That's the hard part, trying to visualise what's actually going to go there, knowing that you might forget something. So you're doing a lot of thinking, lots of cups of tea, sitting in the van. So now let's get some action and let's get some conduit and some wiring. See, what I've done is I've gone around the van and I've wrote what I think I want. So here I want to have a projector, I want to have a little mini projector on the ceiling. So I need a 3-pin plug, possibly I might have a PS5, definitely a projector, probably a Wi-Fi router as well maybe. I haven't even worked out that yet, but I'm going to put it in anyway. Here I'm going to have a shower light, that's all I'm having. Obviously I've got the max fan there, which you already know about. Got some cable there for that, that's the shower light already in, I already put that in. But the reason why I want the projector here, so that there, and I'm thinking, see this window? Well, I want a projector screen to come down here, where the window is. Sort of, you imagine that window is a TV. That's where I think I want the projector there. Well, I do, that's where I want it. And then I'm going to have a little sofa seat there, so I can chill out and watch it. And his driver's seat will be on a swivel. What else? Reading light, USB charger here, because that's where the bed's going to be. And I want another light switch here, USB charger and a reading light on that side probably. Might just put one charger, I'm not sure. On this side of the van, USB charger and another 3-pin plug here. And I want a light switch somewhere here on the kitchen unit. The kitchen pod's going to be there. So I might run that under the cupboards though, and along the bed here. So I can always add those in after. And I haven't decided where I'm putting a fridge yet either. So I don't know if I'm putting a fridge in the kitchen pod here or whether I'm going to put it under the bed. So those are the things I'm not really 100% on. A ceiling, I'm just going to have an LED strip light across there. So I've already got the cable in there for that. I did that a couple of weeks ago. Oh, and I'm having a light under here as well, because it's going to be well, it is storage. So I want a light in there. I've already got the cable in for that. And I want a USB charger here. And I think this is probably the best place for me. I'm going to put the Victron controller on. It's hard to visualise, but there's going to be like a shower here. So there's going to be like a shower there. So I want to put it on the side here, so when I'm sitting on this sofa, I can access the controller there. And on this side of the shower wall, next to the bed, I'm going to put the diesel heater, so I can control that from the bed. So that's kind of where I'm at with all of this. But I'll tell you what, it is quite challenging getting these conduits in. Just getting that one in there, that was an absolute pig of a job, trying to feed it up there. There's like a space in there. I fed it up through there from the bottom down there. But yeah, that was a real pig of a job. It took me ages to do that as well. So I'm not looking forward to doing this. This is probably the worst job, I think, for me so far. I don't know, the floor was a bit of a pain as well. I don't think I like any of it. Well, I managed to feed that wire, well, that conduit, up there from down there. And what I ended up doing is I had to use the wire that I had in for a light. I had to attach it to the end, and then I basically pulled it through there and then fed it along there. And now I've got it to this bit. That's the hard part done, because there's a little gap up in there. I think I can feed it through there. I don't think you can see it with the camera. Can you see that gap? I'm going to put it through there. First, I've got to get enough of it. Is that enough? That's probably enough. Now I'm going to try and feed it through that little gap. There we go. You can hear the conduit. You can hear the conduit catching. There you go. You see why I put it in conduit though, because as you're pulling it, you can hear it. You can just hear the conduit. This conduit isn't that great, to be honest. It's a little bit flimsy, but you can hear it catching on these edges, you know, up in there. If that was bare wire, it would just rub through it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to secure it with some zip ties through there like that. That way. That way it will stop it from moving, so it won't keep moving and rubbing, because I don't really want it to rub through the conduit, and I also don't want it to be making noise as I'm driving. So now I've secured this piece to this bit of conduit, this black piece here, the piece that's going there to the max fan and the shower light, and also to there. So that's nice and secure now. That would have been, you know, a bit of a pain to do if that was all full of insulation in there, so I think that's why it's wise to get it done first. All of that you see here, that's the factory wiring, and that was on a big chunky bit of conduit. That was all running along there on these clips. But when I tried to take this conduit off, even gently, all the clips broke. So I've got to figure out what to do with these. I'm going to put them in some conduit anyway, you know, something like this, because there's not that many there anyway. And then I might just tie wrap them up somewhere. I don't know whether to move them up there or leave them there. Not sure yet. Right, next job I want to do is where I want to run a bit of conduit through there, where I've already put the power cable from the main battery to where my leisure battery is going to be. But I used a step drill bit to drill that hole out when I was down at Luke's in Devon, and I don't have a step drill bit here. So I'm going to have a bit of an issue now. Yeah, so I don't know how I'm going to do that. So I think what I'm going to have to do I think I'm just going to leave that bit for now because I know where it's going. I'm just going to run it along there because I want it to come out there. So I can route it all in there, no problem. It's just that bit. But once I can get through this bit here, I can then just put it through there to here. And obviously I want to, like I said earlier, I have a USB up there as well. But that'll all be in the same bit of conduit. So I think by the time you see me run that cable, I'll have probably put some insulation on these walls because I need to get on with that. I need to get that done. And I'm going back down to Devon in a couple of days. So I can either order a step drill bit, or it'll probably take a couple of days to get it, or I can just use Luke's when I get down there. So I might leave that for now. I'll pick this video back up then when I've done that, but don't be surprised if you see some extra work that's been done on the van. Might mess up the timeline a little bit. I try and keep things on the same timeline so the videos are consistent, but I find that quite difficult with this build because I want to sort of do one job and then I sort of have to stop and do a bit of another job, so it's a little bit all over the place. But you just kind of want to keep one subject for one video, but if you can, but yeah, it's quite challenging. So I should see you when I've got the drill bit. Got a step drill. Borrowed Luke's. I'm down in Devon at the minute, so I thought I'd wait till I come down here and then I can get this done. Now I'm going to use this size. I've painted the little hole now that it's all been filed, ready to put the conduit in. Now I'm just going to feed a bit of conduit in back to where all the power's going to be. I'll probably put the wire in the conduit. I find that's easier than trying to get it in when you're doing it like this. Not a fun job though, this is really quite a pain in the ass. Probably taking all the paint off now with that conduit on that I've just sprayed. I think what I'm also going to do is I'm going to tie wrap the conduit pipes together and then tie wrap them to the actual metal of the body as well, just so they don't move, you know, just to keep them from moving around and rubbing or anything. Well, I've done as much pre-wiring as I can possibly do, I think. Without sitting here with endless amounts of cups of tea, thinking, what else do I need? Do I need this? Will I need that? So I've done what I think I need, and anything else after that, I'm just going to have to figure it out along the way. So I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've done. So as you may have seen in a previous video, I ran the power cable from the battery there I've just took the cover off so you can see it. Look, that's connecting to the customer connection point on the seat, because the main battery's under there. So that runs in that conduit and all the way along there. That's it there with the silver paint on it, where I've actually painted these holes I've drilled. Goes up there and under there and comes out and goes into this DC to DC, or this one actually. And as you can see, I've actually rigged up a little temporary electrical board with my DC to DC charger, a fuse box and a little 50 amp hour lithium battery. So I've hooked that up just so I can get some power in the van, and mainly so I can power my max fan, which is there. Right, the remote control for it. So now I've got power, and the cable for the max fan that runs into this conduit here, along with this wire which I've put in for the shower light. This was the first bit of conduit that I ran in, and it runs in there, and I've got it running down here, tie wrapped here, and then that runs down through this channel. There's like a channel in there, and it runs down there, and it runs down this pillar here and goes down there, and that's what you can see here coming out with those wires, and that's the max fan wire there. So I've also got another bit of conduit here which I've run, and that was the bit that you see me drilling out when I needed the step drill. That goes up there, I've run it up there, and I've got this bit of cable just tucked in there, look. That's basically for my Victron, so I'm going to put my Victron controller here. Somewhere on the side of the shower will be this bit here, so that's just going to sit in there. And then I've got another cable in there for a USB, so I can put a USB charging point there. I've got a bit of cable here which I'm going to run to an LED strip light somewhere around about here in the middle of the van, and that's literally just running, there. And I've actually got that going down into that, I don't know what you call this, but this was already there from factory, and the wire just literally just drops down there, runs down there along with a load of other factory wires, and that's this one here coming out here. And these are the other wires that I've run through the van. Obviously none of these are connected yet because I haven't got anything to connect to them. The only thing I connected is the max fan there, look. So that's why they're just sort of untidily just there. Ready for when I actually build a proper electrical board there and decide what size batteries I'm going to have and inverter and whatever I'm going to be putting in. So I've also run another cable along here in this factory loom, and that is going up there, look. I just figured it was easier to do that. That's going to be another USB charger, probably so I can plug the router in, because I've actually going to be putting a little router in so I can get some 4G. And this, what you see here, this is the 240 volt cable that I've put in, and that's been routed up there, look, on this blue conduit, and I've actually got that up into there and running down there, and then that runs all the way along there and through inside there. There's like a section there, runs down, and then you can see it there, and that's just down the back there for now until I've got a way of connecting it, but the cables are in now. I've also got this bit of cable that I've run to the cab overhead storage area, because I figured it'd be a good idea to have a little LED light up in there just in case it's a bit dark in there so you can see. And again, I've just run that along here, and it came out the actual conduit there, look, and it just goes into this loom, because I figured if the loom's good enough for factory, it's good enough for me to use it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some protection for this and put it around here and make it nice and neat, and then batten either side of it. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. And the final bit that I've done is I've got this cable in for some LED under cupboard lights. So I'm going to have some cupboards along there, and I'll obviously have some cupboards along there as well, running all the way along. So I've put the cabling in, and I'll be connecting this up to a switch. I'll probably connect the two lights together, and then I'm going to have a switch up here for them. I just hope I've done that right. Put enough cable in. So I think that's pretty much it. So that's me done with the pre-wiring now. I think I've done as much as I can do, to be honest with you. And that's enough. Now it gives me the green light to keep moving forward with this build. And as you can probably see, I've already got some of the insulation on. This is probably going to be mixed up with my other video with the insulation, because I've kind of been doing both videos at the same time, because I've been doing both jobs at the same time. So I don't know which video will be out first. Probably this one, and then there'll probably be an insulation video. There will be, because I've got to finish the insulation, because like I said, I've only done the first stage, which is that, and then I've got to fill all them cavities up there. So all them cavities, so I've got to do all those, but I wanted to get the wiring in first, as I previously explained. So that enables me to crack on with that. So yeah, I feel good now. I feel good about that, because this has been a bit of a monotonous stage. It's just, yeah, it's not really fun, is it? Doing wiring. But anyhow, it's done. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than me. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.